Most of Florida had the best weather in the country over the weekend. What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas with you. That is going to change significantly for the week ahead. Post in the comments, by the way, if you enjoyed the cooler starts to our day. Then we're going to go over the forecast. We'll first break down the pattern of why it's so stormy. We'll take you through North Florida, Central Florida, and South Florida. And then the tropics are staying busy. We're going to break that down from a Florida perspective, take a look at what is going on and where things are headed. Before we get into the video, if you do want to stay updated on all things Florida weather and the rest of hurricane season, you have to hit subscribe. Please do so. That alert bell also will let you know anytime we post new content. All right, so here is the setup. It's going to be a complex setup over the next few days, but that drier air is going away, and we're going to crank back up the humidity, number one. Number two, we're going to add so much moisture that this is really going to help to get these storms going. So first and foremost, we have this big chunk of high pressure that's chilling over the Bahamas, southwest Cuba, and northern Caribbean area. Then we have this upper level low that's hanging out just to the west of the Yucatan Peninsula. We have counterclockwise flow around lows. We have clockwise flow around highs. That is acting as a pathway to draw up all of this deep, rich, tropical moisture and slam it right back into the state of Florida. We also have a dip in the jet stream here, the westerly flow across the deep south. And embedded in that are going to be several disturbances which will enhance storm chances and rain chances really over the next 4 or 5 days. So it's the combination of those two things going forward. I want to show you the amount of rain coming our way, at least potentially from a Central Florida standpoint, and you see it right there. This is from Monday through Friday, a widespread 3 to 5-ish inches of rain. Some places could end up picking that much up in a night. If you get stuck under one of these heavier thunderstorms, they just don't move. So it's something that we're going to be watching for these instances of minor flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. So that is what we are going to watch. But no matter how you slice it, it is going to be an unsettled week, especially in the afternoons, and it is going to be a stormy one. Let me show you future radar here from a statewide perspective, just to kind of play out how things could shape up. There's Monday, 4 or 5 o'clock. So that's going to be today, September 25th. And you see all the storms getting going. Fort Pierce, Fort Myers, all the forts, Naples. What's going on? We have those storms pushing through. And you see that wave, those wave of thunderstorms just kind of work from west to east. Also, with that flow from west to east, we are going to favor the higher rain chances closer to the East Coast as we push things from west to east, and they kind of sit there a little bit. So that was Monday evening at 7 o'clock. Now, here we go, Tuesday morning. This is September 26th. You see where we have the storms hanging around the Big Bend of Florida and into the Panhandle, and then also into South Florida. A lot of the peninsula at this point anyway, Tuesday morning, September 26th, is on the dry side. Look at the storm chances really start to flare up, though, and things kind of converge onto Florida. You can kind of see this other front here where it's cloud-free back towards the deep south, but that's also going to help to enhance those storm chances. Look at that flare up again. Commute home from Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Daytona Beach into Orlando, Kissimmee, St. Cloud. Could be a little rough. That goes for us in Lakeland as well. As again, there's 6 o'clock. We have those rocking storms around. By 9 or 10, I do think most of those storms fizzle out, but there will still be a few showers around. So getting into your pinpoint forecast for North Florida tomorrow, rain chances 60 to 70%. Pensacola, we're going to be on kind of that dividing line where that front starts to nudge through a little bit. We can start to get back into that drier air really as early as Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday, but that is your forecast again with those elevated rain chances, temperatures back to the low to mid 80s. We're back to the upper 80s and lower 90s, and yes, that rich humidity comes back. That's going to help to fuel those thunderstorms again. Rain chances anywhere from 70 to 80% across most of Central Florida. We saw it on future radar of those storms really start to push in like that. For South Florida, really the same deal again. Look at that. Rain chances, forget about it. Sky high, 60 to 70%, a few 80% we have popping up on the map, especially in Southwest Florida, Southeast Florida. It is going to be a very unsettled stretch of weather. And again, that future radar that I just showed you is just for 2 days. The pattern like that continues to at least Friday, again, because of that same setup. Those two areas, those two weather systems kind of anchored over the Gulf in the Caribbean like that, or Southwest Atlantic. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Onto the tropics now. Things are still staying active in the short term. And again, really over the next few days, Florida is not a threat to be impacted. What we have going on here, we have this, again, See that little flare of thunderstorms? That is related to that upper level system that I showed you that is going to be pumping in all of that moisture right back into the Florida Peninsula. The hurricane center does give this a low-end shot as it kind of spins that way to work its way into the southwest Gulf of Mexico or the central Gulf of Mexico and develop. It's a very low shot at this point, but it's non-zero, so we'll watch it for our friends in Mexico and southwest Texas. Here is Tropical Storm Phillipe as my telestrator goes crazy. That's Tropical Storm Phillipe. This is going to work its way out here. I'm going to show you the latest track. It may do something weird once it gets north of the Bahamas. I'll show you that in just 1 second. And then this big red X out here, that is Invest 91L. That should not be a threat to land at all, but I'll show you the modeling on that toward the end of this video in the next couple of minutes. So here's the latest track from the Hurricane Center. And again, in the short term, it's behaving nicely. Good news for the Caribbean. This is going to bend away, and it looks like it wants to take way out number one. If you were with us in last week's videos, we talked about there were two exits that this could take. The first one, which is up and out before the Caribbean, and it starts to do that, but you see the cone get really weird and really wide. Well, there's a fork in the road. This is still not coming to the United States, I don't believe, because of exit 2. Exit 2 was kind of like, if it doesn't go out number 1, it was going to be forced to take its second exit back out to sea. But you see the divergence and why the cones gets that big kind of circle at the end, because the GFS and the GFS ensembles want to take it out quick. The dark purple is the GFS. The light purple is the GFS ensemble mean, the different conditions put into the model. That's what that is right there. Then we have this cluster here. That includes some of the reliable hurricane models. The UK Met, that yellow color here. Let me get rid of some of my telestration so that I can show you what that is. There it is right there. That's a very reliable short-term model. And the TVCon is a good consensus model that the Hurricane Center uses. You do see it starts to go back out. UK kind of out to lunch a little bit. Regardless, don't let that freak you out by any means. It's not going to come that way, I don't believe, because we have a cold front. I'll show you that in the overall model in just 1 second. Invest 91L, gone. Forget about that. We'd watch it closely again just to make sure it doesn't do anything weird up here for Bermuda, but this one's not coming to Florida either. All right, so this is the wide view, and I want to show you some kind of sneaky thing. I mentioned about those weak disturbances kind of rolling across North Florida along that westerly flow there. Watch what happens. This is going to be towards the end of this roll here. Here is Phillipe. This is the Euro. This is 91L. That's likely going to become a tropical depression over the next few days and likely a named storm. Phillipe gets really weak if it makes it here. There's kind of an upper low there. It absorbs it and takes it away. Look at this. So this is right here, kind of the spin along a cold front that works its way into central Florida. This also helps to enhance our rain chances, by the way, through the state of Florida as we get this other front come through. But look what the Euro wants to do. It wants to kind of roll it up and then take it back north towards the Panhandle or towards Mississippi, Louisiana, somewhere along the North Gulf Coast. It's the only model that's showing it, so I want to be clear about that. The GFS doesn't really do it. It tries to get something a little weak. The Canadian doesn't have it. The Icon just has rain. Those are some of the different models out there. It's something we'll watch. We're starting to get into that homegrown season now. We shut down the deep tropics from those storms that originate from Africa and make their way all the way over as we move into October, and we start to look more for Caribbean-born storms along what we call the Central American Gyre, semi-permanent area of low pressure that hangs out there towards the end of hurricane season. And then, of course, along those cold fronts that work their way off the U.S. mainland, get hung up over the warm water. We get something to spin up, very similar to what Ophelia did. That's what happened with Ophelia. We spun it up off a cold front, and then it worked up, became tropical, and then we saw what happened over the weekend in the Carolinas and then through the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. So a couple different scenarios. Again, that's way out. That's 10 days. That's October 5th, by the way. So there's a lot of time to watch that to see if anything would materialize out of that. But it is the realm of possibilities because this is what we tend to look for once we start to get into this stage of hurricane season. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to stay updated on all things Florida weather, and it could be a rockin' winter, still have a lot of hurricane season to go, please hit that subscribe button. Post in the comments what you were doing this weekend, enjoying the cool weather, at least the drier weather. I want to know if you needed a jacket. Post that in the comments for me, and we will catch you next time.